How do you climb a rope that isn't tethered to anything? For an anxious young man who believed he was worthless and unsafe, that rope led to peace with himself and his journey. Peter was a client that I worked with. He was in his early 20s. His father had died when he was young, and his mother had gone over the edge. She wasn't able to care well for her children. And as the oldest, he really got the brunt of it. She gave him a lot of messages that he wasn't safe, that he couldn't do anything without her, that he'd never amount to anything. And he fulfilled those messages. He'd had lots of struggle. He arrived in the inner world, ushered by angels, on a quest to find something he hadn't seen before that he needed to face to be free. He appeared to be in a cave. Darkness was all around him. The ground was sandy and he was barefoot. A thick rope hung in front of him, large enough that his hand couldn't reach around it. He began to shimmy up the rope. When I asked him where the rope was leading him, Peter described a ledge. We considered the possibility that this ledge was his destination, or that perhaps it held a clue. With discussion, he revealed that he was on the ledge because he started to think that the rope might not be leading anywhere. In other words, he was settling for security, even though staying on the ledge of a cliff had very little to offer. Peter made the decision to get back on the rope and head into the unknown. We are always heading into this mysterious realm, but we buy into the illusion that we know what we're doing and where we're going, rather than feel the loss of control that comes with facing the unknown. When we let ourselves face that, we wonder what the abyss may hold. Is it friendly? What will happen to me? Will I survive? That last one is a core question. The answer is no. None of us will survive in our current form. Our life journeys are about transformation, and only by releasing what we have and what we know can we become and have something greater. Having made the decision to trust the angel's guidance and get back on the rope, Peter noticed the climb seemed easier, and somehow the darkness seemed lighter. He continued climbing, but still didn't find a destination. I speculated with him that perhaps the destination was a state of being, ease, light, and trust. He considered that possibility. I asked Peter what he imagined was holding him up, since the rope he was clinging to didn't seem to be tethered to anything or going anywhere. It must be God, but it's not like there's a person standing there. It's more like an energy fabric, he said. This was a profound shift for Peter. The energy fabric held him like a cocoon of love and grace. He stayed in it, simply being, without evaluating or doing anything. After a while, I encouraged Peter to imagine that this divine fabric could rearrange his mind, transforming it from a wild and dangerous jungle to a garden flourishing with flowers and vegetables. Peter pictured negative thought weeds being pulled from his mind as easily as weeds are pulled from the ground in the spring. Then he imagined new positive mind seeds being planted. These were the mind seeds. You deserve good things. You belong here. You have a purpose on this earth. Everything you need is inside you. just as an acorn holds an oak. These mind seeds are true for you, not just for Peter. I'm going to read them again. I really invite you to take them in for yourself. You deserve good things. You belong here. You have a purpose on this earth. Everything you need is inside of you, just as an acorn holds an oak. Peter soaked in these new thoughts and reveled in this flourishing vision, smelling the flowers and tasting the vegetables. Afterwards, he told me he pictured green peppers, a favorite food, growing out of his head. He loved the idea of eating mind food and planned to make a drawing of his pepper head. We returned to this image often, and it was helpful to him in choosing thoughts that served him. Ultimately, no matter what trauma has led to a lifelong state of anxiety, the antidote must come from within. Thought seeds like Peter planted can grow more powerfully when a person realizes they are connected to the spiritual realm, like Peter's divine energy fabric of love and grace. By its nature, this energy fabric is everywhere present. If you struggle with anxiety, consider grabbing your own rope and climbing into the safety of the unknown. This powerful image is not proprietary. Everyone has a rope, and all the ropes are connected to that divine energy fabric. And once you've connected, take a look at your mind garden. What will you pull out, and what will you plant?